Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Building $1 Million Business. As always, I'm your host and your builder, Patrick Hart. Let's get Instagram connected. Let's get Insty. Come on, Insty. Let's get it, Insty. Come on, Instagram. Come on now. Boom. There we go. We're back better than ever, more blessed than ever. Listen, I'm happy to be here, family. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So hopefully you get some tacos in your life because it's kind of one of my favorite days. I love Taco Tuesday. Welcome back to Building $1 Million Business, family. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Hart, in some circles known as that healthcare guy, Army veteran, 6 years, 2 tours overseas, 1 during 9/11, pivoted, found healthcare, spent over 15 years in healthcare, rising through the ranks, was part of an executive team that sold a $750 million technology company at the end of 2018. I pivoted. I decided to become an entrepreneur, created my own business. In 2023, started paying myself, and I realized, man, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of fulfillment, there's a lot of hustle, there's a lot of work that comes along with being an entrepreneur, but it's extremely rewarding, especially if you understand and you learn the playbook. But I was like, okay, this is cool and all, but what if we can actually package this up into some type of series where we can like give people the frameworks, we can give them the playbook, give them the information, give them the knowledge, give them the systems so they too can build their $1 million business. And we're doing it in public. So welcome back. Thank you guys for joining. Today's going to be episode, man, what is today? Today's going to be episode 87 already. But before we get into this, let me give you a round of applause for rocking with you. We're in this thing. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we're going to be streaming today on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Y'all know how it is. Same energy, same family every single time. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining. If you're a returning viewer, you know what I say. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I appreciate you, family. What are we doing? Why are you here? Why do you continue to show up? Because we're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. There's so many people, they talk about their wins. They talk about their mistakes, but nobody never really gives you the real playbook, how they built their wealth, right? And so that's what we're doing here in this series. We're building out $1 million business. The goal is to give you the knowledge, the frameworks, the systems, the understanding, the conversations, help you realize the collaborations that happen behind the scenes so you too can build your $1 million business, okay? So we got, I already see TikTok is showing up already. I see you, The Art. I see you, Smooth. I see you, Mrs. Cash or Miss Cash. I see you, Minnie. I see you, Ja. Everybody's tapping in Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Let me get my little thing. What are we talking about today, Patrick? Talk to me. What is it? Drum roll, please. Get it. Boom. Episode 87. Listen, I'm starting to understand why most people never scale. They never get there. That's the title. That's today's title. So episode 87 is I'm starting to understand why most people, they never scale. So, I mean, listen, you're a mid-level professional, you're a small business owner, you're an entrepreneur, everyday hustler, right? What are we interested in? We're interested in scaling. We're not just interested in, we're not talking about growing, we're talking about scaling. So going from here to here to here to here, every move that we make, every position that we do, we're trying to level up every single time. And, you know, when you're building your own business, and I've seen it too many times, I'm really starting to understand why people never scale. And it's going to be simpler than what you think. So I'm going to share that with you today. Don't forget, family, the comment boxes are open. So if something strikes a nerve, you disagree with something, you agree with it, whatever it happens to be, you can drop it in the comments. And then here's the other thing. You can make sure you say hi and thank you. I'll make sure to say hi and thank you as well. Like if you're tapping in, just drop your first name. And here's the thing. We got 2 big goals this year. We're building $1 million business, right? So, you know, at the end of the year, I got to prove to you that we were able to generate $1 million in revenue. The second big goal is we're building a 50,000 member ecosystem. Let me pause real quick because homeschool mom is showing me love. I see you, family. Thank you for showing the love. And you always show up every single time. I appreciate you. Yeah, hello. Thank you. Listen, and then the other thing is we're building out a 50,000 member ecosystem inside the newsletter. We got over 6,000. We're growing that baby to 50,000 by the end of the year. I would appreciate your love and support on the inside, but you're also going to get only the newsletter subscribers. You're going to be the first ones to get the intro. You're going to get the opportunity to get everything that I've been building behind the scenes that's going to slide into your inbox so you can start building your $1 million brand and your business here in 2026. I appreciate the love, homeschool mom. Thank you. And I see you, It says end. Like my 2020 vision ain't be 2020 when I'm this close to the screen. I'm starting to understand why most people never scale. Let me share that with you today. That's today's topic. Don't forget this. If there's something that's on your mind, that's on your chest, don't be a stranger. Get it off your chest. Where does my notes go? Where did my notes go? Let me find my notes. There we go. Let me get them. There we go. Here we go. Dude, I'm starting to understand something. Like most people, listen, most people don't fail because they lack talent. That's not the case. Okay. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they can't handle the repetition long enough to actually scale. Like that realization, like it actually hit me while I'm building this thing out in public. Like not during the exciting moments, because during the exciting moments, you're not really paying attention to the thing that's preventing your growth because you're super excited, right? But the normal days, right? The normal days, the repetitive days, the quiet days, the days where, man, honestly, the days where I feel like the work, it just feels familiar. It feels like it's the same over and over and over and over again. Like, have you ever noticed how badly people, they say they want growth? Maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your mom, your cousin, your uncle, your brother. Maybe it's you. You keep telling yourself, man, I just want to grow. I want a different life. I want something different from what I have for myself right now. And people tell you all the time, man, they want something different. Like they want to grow so bad. They want to grow so bad. And then we realize that we have to change our circles, right, in order to get to that next level. And we realize that. And we have to start putting ourselves out there because visibility is the new game here in 2026. We all realize that. But have you ever noticed how badly people, they say they want growth, but they get tired of doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? But that's the thing that's actually going to get them to the next level. Y'all noticed that before? I see you, son-in-law. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you. Like that's the disconnect right there. So here's the message today. Most people, they don't lose because the opportunity isn't there. That's not what they're losing, family. They lose because they get bored before their work starts compounding. Come on now, I'm going to lose some people. Like think about this for real quick. Like think about this. Where have you found yourself getting bored with the routine? I'll pause. Y'all let me know in the chat box. Where have you found yourself getting bored with the routine? And today's episode, I mean, this whole series, we're building $1 million business, but it doesn't just happen professionally. It also happens personally. You just get bored with the routine. You get bored with going to the same job. You get bored from the same relationship. You get bored from wearing the same pair of shoes. You get bored from eating at the same place. You get bored from doing that same thing over and over and over again. But sometimes this can be the difference from you actually scaling to where you want to be. So we're going to get to this. Here's a promise. In this episode, I'm going to break down one of the biggest realizations that I had while building this business in public every single day. I appreciate you, Homeschool Mom. She's showing me so much love. I appreciate y'all. Listen, if y'all not following Homeschool Mom, let me make sure I got it right. Homeschool Mom Baddie on TikTok. It's probably somebody I want to follow because she's been giving me love. So I know she's going to give other people some love. So here's a promise. In this episode, I'm breaking down one of the biggest realizations that I had while building this business every single day. And listen, y'all know me. It's not from reading about building a business. It's actually from living it. All right. So by the end of this, you're going to understand why people never reach the next level. Right. That's number one. Two, what repetition reveals about this, about discipline and your identity. And then three, why scaling requires emotional endurance. And here's what I had to learn. Y'all know I'm going to share with you. Growth is less about excitement and more about repetition than people actually realize. And there's a pattern. Like we all need to catch these patterns while we're building up our career. We're building up our lives. We're scaling to that next level. People love talking about success all the time. All you got to do is open up your feed. I don't care what social channel you're streaming from. Open it up. You're going to find somebody talking about how they did this, how they made $1 million doing this, how they scaled doing this, how they grew their network in 90 days and now they got 100,000 followers, how they built a 7-figure business and they did it in a year. People love talking about their success. Listen, they love the vision, the goals, the money, the outcomes. They love talking about all that. But very few people actually honestly talk about what scaling looks like on a day-to-day basis. It's repetitive. And that's what I do here. Like I'll bring it to you every single day. What is it actually like to show up for yourself? What is it actually like to actually scale the business? I see you, Rick66. Thanks for tapping in. So that's what we're doing. We're building $1 million business. Listen, you're repeating the same disciplines over and over again, the same structure, the same priorities, the same standards over and over and over again. And this is where the people that actually start struggling, because the work, and not because the work is impossible, but because the repetition, it starts feeling exciting. You ever notice that before? Like people stop doing that thing because it doesn't feel exciting anymore, and they quit right before they get ready to hit that success, and they don't even realize it, but they quit anyway. They just tapped out. Like, oh, I'm tapping out, right? This is what building $1 million business is like. This is what scaling to get to that corner office is like. This is what happens when you're angling for that promotion. Man, it's going to take that repetitive work that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's the work that we know we need to be doing to get to the next level. Listen, once the excitement fades, a lot of people start drifting away. They start chasing new ideas. They start chasing new plans, new distractions, things that's going to distract them from doing that repetitive work. Anything that feels fresh again, that's the thing that they want to chase. And that's the dangerous part, family. When you're scaling, when you're growing, when you're building your $1 million business, it's easy to chase a shiny object, but it's hard to keep doing that same repetitive process over and over and over and over again until it just pops for you. That's what we're doing here. We're building this thing in public every single day. That's why this is episode 87. We kicked this thing off 90 days ago, and we're almost 90 episodes into it. So when you talk about repetition, that's what this is about. I'm trying to give you the playbook so we can build your $1 million brand and help you scale to the next level. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, scaling usually comes from doing the right things consistently, longer than other people are willing to do that, right? And, I'm always getting honest with myself. I see you, Nate. Thanks for tapping in. I'm always getting honest with myself. I had to ask myself something recently, and I said, okay, Pat, listen, can you stay committed to the repetition? I asked myself that. I was like, dude, can you really stay committed to doing that same thing over and over and over again? Like, not just when it feels good for me, not just when the moment, when the momentum is obvious, because, I've been getting a lot of momentum. That's which is cool. I'm talking about when things just feel normal on a daily basis. It feels normal. And that's the real test right there. That's when you start testing yourself, family, when you're building your career, when you're building your $1 million brand. Building this business publicly has shown me something about myself too. I'm going to share it with you. I know I will. Listen, some days they feel extremely exciting. Some days feel heavy. Some days are exciting. Other days are heavy. Some days feel repetitive. But, the work, it still has to happen. For me, that's maturity. Well, at least that's what I tell myself. I feel like every single day I'm becoming more and more mature. So that's what I tell myself. And it's not constantly needing emotional stimulation to execute, right? A lot of us, we need that. We need a cheerleader in our corner. We need somebody cheering us on. We need somebody pushing us in the back. We need somebody validating us every single day. Listen, if you start living there, you're going to find yourself not being able to carry the weight of the build that you're trying to build, because your motivation relies externally on other people's validation versus relying on yourself to take you to that next level. That completely changed how I started scaling things. Now I understand, listen, the people who win the long game, who wins long term, they just usually stay a little bit longer than you. They stay committed to themselves longer than you. They decide to lock into that repetitive moment. I appreciate you. We got Dr. Brown on LinkedIn. He says motivation, excitement, and inspiration means very little in the long game. So y'all may want to give him a follow on LinkedIn as well. So we got Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. The whole family's in one place. Let me show you the shift, and then I'm gonna get you guys out of here. It's 12:14. So give me the next 5 to 7 minutes, and I get you guys out of here real quick. Thank you, $, for tapping in, family. I see the love right there on TikTok. So give $, some love as well. He sent me some roses. I appreciate you, family. Thank you. Yeah. Let me show you the shift. There's 3 things, okay? 3 things that I'm learning about scaling right now. 1, stop chasing constant excitement. Why does it feel like I'm talking to you? Because I am. Listen, stop chasing constant excitement. Excitement is going to come and go. Structure is what is going to sustain your growth right there. And this is probably something that's missing in your playbook as you're scaling, as you're trying to get to the next level of your career and or your business. Structure is what sustains your growth. Number two. I'm going to give it to you. Number 2, learn to respect repetition. What are we talking about? Repetition is not punishment. It's how mastery actually gets built. Okay. Once you start learning how to be repetitive and getting better and better and better, that's when you start mastering your skills. Number 3, stay emotionally steady. What are we talking about? You don't want to get too high. We don't want to get too low. We just want to be extremely committed and accept that, hey, there's going to be some ups and downs, but in between it, we have the knowledge, the insight, and the willingness to figure out anything that happens in between, right? So stay emotionally steady. For me, that changed everything. I appreciate you. Thanks for showing the love. Listen, I stopped looking for constant stimulation. And I just started focusing on sustainability. Can I be sustainable? And that's honestly, family, if I'm going to be 100% with you guys, I challenged myself at the beginning of this year when I said, I'm going to build this business in public. What I was challenging for myself, I was like, okay, can I stay committed to actually doing this every single day? No matter if I'm high, no matter if I'm low, can I still show up for myself? That's why I'm here. A lot of people think I'm doing these lives for you, which I appreciate you joining. But this is honestly about internal alignment. Can I be aligned with myself? Can I stay committed to myself? And then if I can bring some people along on the journey with me, that's even fire. Like, that's dope right there. And that's what I'm getting out of this. So here's what this build is reinforcing. I'm about to get you guys out of here. Stay emotionally ready. You said that. I see you, JJ. I see you, Homeschool Baddie. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. We got everybody here in the place. Before I land this thing, I just want to, a couple of call to actions. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't signed up for the newsletter. I told you I'm working on my branding and visibility, $1 million playbook. It's done. It is done. It's completed. I'm ready to hand that thing over to you. But I'm also tweaking my landing page, my funnel system. Once that's all done, then I'll share it with you, because I got to make sure that funnel system actually works the way that it's supposed to work. When I tell you I'm building this thing in public, I truly am building this thing in public. Also, there's going to be a week where it's just going to be a collaboration week where I'm just going to bring on some people that I collaborate with. I'm going to bring them front and center so they can give you the game, so they can give you the insight to what they do, their different and better story, so they can help you scale to get to the next level as well. Listen, we grow together as a family. I'm not trying to leave everybody up. What I know you ended up knowing, that's how you build in public. That's how this thing actually works, right? So a couple of call to actions. Invite other like-minded individuals to these lives. I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. They're 30 minutes or less. And this is episode 87. Lastly, sign up for the newsletter, family. Like, we're growing that baby to 50,000. I can't reach 50,000 if you're not included on Inside. So sign up for the newsletter. I see you, Quay. Thanks for tapping in. All right. So let me land this baby really quick. Here's what this build is reinforcing. Vision matters. Execution matters. Discipline matters. But endurance, man, family, once you get endurance determines who actually scales. That's the difference right there. Do you have the endurance to be committed to yourself long enough to see through your vision? Some people, they want the outcome. At least they tell you they want the outcome. Other people become the type of person that's capable of actually sustaining the outcome. And that's where the separation happens. So if you start looking around and you want to compare yourself to other people, you start looking around, you want to say, can I be sustainable as such and such? Because I see them every single day. Can I be sustainable as such and such? Because they do it every single day. That's the difference right there, family. Some people decided to stay committed to themselves long enough to see through, even through that messy middle, that they come out on the other side cleaner than a whistle, right? Because they're ready to stay committed. And that's the separation right there. So stop comparing yourself to other people thinking, man, maybe they were just born with a silver spoon. Maybe they had more chances than you. No, family, some of it is just about you. Sometimes we got to point the finger at ourselves and see, like, dude, am I willing to do the work and keep doing it on a daily basis until it compounds and I actually start seeing the result? And I'm starting to understand, listen, this is why most people never scale. It's not because of lack of opportunity. It's because lack of endurance through the repetition. Fam, that's all I got for you today. That's been episode 87. Let me give you a round of applause for joining with me. Where's it at, family? Give it to me. Same time, same place, same energy, same love tomorrow. Give me a follow. I don't care what platform you follow me on. Love is love. Love is love. Support. And if you when you follow me, you say, hey, I caught one of your episodes on live. I'll follow you back. Real talk. I'll follow you back. Just let me know why you're following me, because some content I put out there and it's not related to a live. But if you're following me because you're on one of these lives, yeah, tag me. Let me know, and I'll follow you back as well. Hey, thank y'all for showing the love. Until tomorrow, until next time, let's keep getting it.